Fight the late beginning. Courier being sniped. Started. The draft. Not gonna see game commence. Hopefully. Once these pauses stop. Ideally. There's been quite a lot of pauses. It just stars needs to get the internet right. Yep. It could have been that was an issue in internet because earlier we just saw telekinesis onto Madman. He was rolling bouldering. I don't know if he had vision of it. Could have stopped him mid boulder, but of course, it's a bit hard if your ping is really high. One of those unfortunate circumstances when you really can't do anything about it, right? Because you have all the American region same place, and really, unless you're gonna do a LAN tournament, which is not gonna happen, and then you really can't save him. Game Madman, good stuff. Seems like it's Wheel actually having it. This is the same thing that the reason why people were happy about the South American. They still have the issue, which is, well, do we host it in Peru? Do we host it in Brazil? That's still a pretty big issue. Because Peruvians don't get good ping in Brazil, and Brazilians don't get good ping in Peru, and there's no neutral server per se. Chile is all... but it's for Brazilians. It's unfortunate. You just don't have a... There's no win situation. You're trying to increase Dota in certain countries. Unless you try to do live. It's just that in certain countries, governmental limitation or literal physical, like the mountainous regions of Peru. That said, I'm gonna see Mad Ming. Oh, that was quite a clever telekinesis to try to get the dragons to harass him, but I think I just telekinesed them right over. Dragons would have harassed them anyway. Dragons, and he wouldn't have died, but you could have gotten a bit more damage onto him, which is the still clever idea by Ned. One of the better Rubik players out there, especially. I mean, pretty well known for his Rubik, which is why he probably starts favor this Rubik in the position 4, as opposed to just stronger, tankier hero. Well, right as I say that, he does a telekinesis that wasn't useful for anything. I think he had a combination of, say, 3 shadow raises, but did not know if the Phantom Lance, who's already level 2, had skilled Ganger just yet. Of course, he wants to get Phantom Rush as possible to get the in control, but Doppelganger might be more useful. I know. We see the root onto the Shadow Shaman. Careful. The Shadow Shaman has Jackals. So he can actually come back and attack Dota the 2. Low armor means the Wraith King is one of your worst enemies, but of course doesn't want to stray too far away from the lane as he needs to get those last hits early on. And now B onto question mark. Question mark in the mid lane is being slowed quite considerably. There's no TPs to help him out, but B can't get the skill. And the top lane we also see a bit of harassment onto Derp by this Darkseer, but he put the Iron Show onto an enemy creep. Can't put too much pressure onto that. However, you do get the 2 kills out of it. And the bottom lane, as I see, or sorry, in the mid lane, question mark dies. In the bottom lane, Dota the 2 is being harassed by Ned, but they're not going to be able to kill. And it was just Madman coming in. Quick rolling boulder plus Spirit Lance, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, no, Spirit Lance wasn't even there. No, it was just a rolling boulder. Oh, wow. Okay, so there was 2 Spirit Lances earlier for harassment. Yeah, that makes sense. And then the rolling boulder to pick him off. Question mark did not get any help from his teammates, and of course that happened. Question mark has to regain a bit of the control he lost in the lane by using the Shadow Raises pretty effectively. B is about to die. He's only at 15 HP. Is he gonna bait the hit? He will. The Doppelganger at the right time. Question mark cannot get that kill. And 0 in the top lane. Stopped by Derp. Oh, only 3 more mana, but he couldn't get the Frostbite in time. Madmang only had a rolling boulder, so really couldn't do much without the boulder smash to stop with Darkseer. Thus allowing him to get out of there alive. Meanwhile, what's that? Oh, that was quite clever. Dota 2 comes in, he must waste his mana by using an Infernal Blade or something of the sort, of course, and is unable to because of the Wraith Fire Blast. Because when you come from the base, of course, you get the for a while. Huh. The small efficiency plays really help you out in the, especially in the early game, and this is gonna give Wheel the advantage because they do have, technically, they have weaker lanes. Except for that mid lane, but they forced the Rubik to rotate into the mid lane, and he's not as good as helping the mid lane as First Spirit is. And he keeps using telekinesis onto B, but not with any follow-up, which, because question mark doesn't even have the mana to follow this. In fact, there's the Phantom Lance going the Spirit Lance onto question mark. The rolling boulder's not going to hit, but question mark has nowhere to go. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place, and with a Doppelganger chasing him for, oh, B has the worst luck in the world and can't stop that salve from happening. Question mark will survive this. In fact, in the bottom lane, they even get a kill onto Dota the 2, and that's just unfortunate for B. Had he got the right Doppelganger, he probably would have gotten the kill, been able to cancel that salve and everything, but he just didn't get that. Even had that spirit, that Phantom Rush. It allows you to probably stop that salve easily, but that was just an unlucky Doppelganger. Sometimes it happens. Meanwhile, Ned being harassed by Derp. Also pretty low armor here, taking so much damage by Crystal Maiden. It's actually quite ridiculous. You can see his health just going. And Madman again, pretending or trying to get a kill on this mid. Ned seems like a better option. Back with the rolling boulder and boulder smash. Kill Ned, you're going far. There's a double damage on the Lancer. He's going to see the first period. He might just fight. Ras slightly, and this no. That's it, boys. That's all they're going to do to each other. I thought the boulder smash plus a Phantom Lancer just coming with a Phantom Rush. But of course, it's only a level 1 Phantom Rush, meaning that the distance is not that high. It's the same as... You get a vision of it. It's the same as the X marks the spot level 2 distance. Exactly the same. So, got 600 units. Not that great. In fact, oh, there's question mark. The Phantom Rush still not committed. Oh, he was committed. That's why he pursued it any further. He saw the Doppelganger, though. Telekinesis move back. Where's the Shadow Raises? No, he had no raises close to him, meaning that he had to use the long raise, if anything. The rolling boulder now to question mark. He's been slow to oblivion. Had to try to use a raise, but Boulder Smash stops him. And with that, the Shadow Fiend will go down. Another kill for the guys at Wheel, getting a 1k gold advantage now over the enemy team and winning that laning phase exactly as they wanted. Meanwhile, KVH has been left alone in this top lane for the whole time and is able to increase his net worth just based on last hits. Also out harassing the Darkseer as he has no issue last hitting the kind of ability he gets per levels. And this is probably going to mean an early Aghanim Scepter for the Rana, meaning that you're going to have a really hard time trying to match her farm as the Wraith King. Meanwhile, Wraith King level 5, so perfect time to gank. Even the Boulder Smash has not been committed yet. Finally gets a stun. The Frostbite stacked onto it, but they don't actually care about this as they have enough damage to kill 1, 2, 3 ZXZ. And with that, he's going to say, fuck me. No, he's going to get killed early. And right before he gets his reincarnation, unfortunately, meaning that the Wraith King will lose a bit of that extra net worth he was trying to up. Admin, meanwhile, sees the Shadow Shaman, but it's a bit of a dangerous play, even though you're both level 3, don't have both your spells, and actually in the top lane, KVH just got a kill onto the Darkseer. I believe it would just hit him with the arrow while he surged. I couldn't see that when I was seeing some harassment. Constant attacks in the game by Wheel. You can see how much rotations. It's actually a great way to measure rotations. How many rotations can the camera even catch? Right, so you see the Wheel is rotating all over the map with both Madman and the Crystal Maid, not even leaving her jungle, playing a very aggressive position, only letting Dark farm when it's needed, but mostly leaving the jungle for the Doom. It's making it easy for them to actually catch kills on a lot of these static farmers like Shadow Fiend, maybe like Shadow Fiend or Wraith King, who really don't have any power to escape these attacks, except for the reincarnation, of course. But the reincarnation doesn't really count as one of those abilities to, because of course, I mean, it's a hugely long cooldown. You don't really want to die, and they can probably kill you twice if you're not careful. Meanwhile, KVH has been kind of alone in lane. You don't usually see him around being so static in lane, of course, but the Aghanims nowadays and a lot of control. It's pretty a lot of space, and then avoid the enemy team. Especially when the Shadow Fiend's gonna be so low, you're gonna need some time for the guys' stars to recover. Question mark getting a couple of camps, maybe backs up for him. And as a result, this Shadow Fiend has been it's going to be put into a difficult position where if you can either go with your team and try to get early kills with the amazing amount of damage raises give you, or you can try to recover to get those souls and those levels up, which is important, of course. But you don't want to do that against a Phantom Lancer or Mirana, who are both going to outfarm you. Similarly with the Wraith King, not even going for the Midas, trying to go for an early game build, even getting the Magic Stick beyond. You can only presume to get those Doom, or to stop the Doom to some degree, to get the Power and those creep spells and whatnot, but seems like a very... Seems like a very passive choice, considering how your mid game is gonna go. But Ned, in trouble. Telekinesis doesn't do anything, as Rolling Boulder catches him anyway. Just rained down to stopped. Boulder Smash, and Ned is gonna go down in a sea of flames. Dota 2 doesn't even need to commit the Scorched Earth for this, however. Here comes Lil Kin. He comes with the Shackles as well. Madman could be suffering a lot. Question mark wants to get this kill. The Shackles are ready, and Madman will go down. Meanwhile, on the top lane, and again, KVH gets a kill onto the Darkseer while we're not looking. So many kills on the map, and a thing that Wheel is doing really well. Sorry about that. Happens sometimes. Road. Something that Wheel is doing really well this game is whenever the supports rotate and they can't help the Darkseer, they just get a kill with a Mirana. I mean, those arrows have been on point as far as we're concerned, because it just seems like the Darkseer is dying to the arrows. I can only imagine. You can't see all of his kills. Then I would just want to concentrate on this lane to see what KVH is doing exactly to destroy this Darkseer, because you should be able to evade the Mirana arrow much easier than that. Anyway, rolling boulder into the mid lane, question mark stunned out and destroyed. Oh, one more hit. All they need, just pose, and question mark is gonna die there. Ned, meanwhile, is being harassed by B. There's no Phantom Rush, no need for it. Spirit Lance, though, is available in a second, and with the Moonlight Shadow, they can actually dive this easily. Spirit Lance to finish him off. He even evades the Wraithfire Blast. 1, 2, 3. ZXC wants to get the kill here, but is gonna be faced by a really strong Phantom Lancer with the help of also a Nurse Spirit. The Boulder Smash is available. In comes the Darkseer running with a Surge, and they're gonna be enough damage to stop him, and the Boulder Smash cannot get the right angle to stun all of them. And with that, Wheel is gonna have a really hard time losing the Phantom Lancer and actually giving a bit of extra gold to the enemy team. However, they did get that kill onto question mark, and they still do get that kill from Ron and all that farm. Derp, what are you doing? This is the wrong way. There's no way to come down. You wanna Boulder Smash it? Yeah, that was not gonna work out. That was a pretty nice play. If the rolling boulder had gone this way and then Boulder Smash that way, I see what he was trying to do, but very, very hard to do, especially because he didn't have the rolling boulder Smash the time he did that. He just kind of backed himself into a but you don't want to go low ground, high ground, because they do have a vision superiority. Still, seems like an unfortunate play for the Crystal Main, regardless of 2k net worth. Them Phantom Lancer still net worth. I didn't even go to the last hits because there's been so many kills. It's kind of irrelevant. You can see in terms of last hits, Phantom Lancer and Mirana are actually kind of equal with the Wraith King, but you can see in terms of net worth, beating him by 700 gold already. Just basically due to the fact that they're playing all those kills constantly, doing proper support rotations, which is an important factor here. The support rotations by the Rubik has not been as effective. The Shadow Shaman has done absolutely still getting levels, but if anything, gotten counter kills or something of the sort. Never really starting his own initiations and not really punishing anyone in the tower. In fact, stunned out Mad Meng. They have another stun from 1XZ, and this is definitely dead. No way they can save him, can they? He's rolling boulder away, they block it, and Mad Meng, actually survives thanks to the Fairy Fire. The Frostbite also stopping Zero from doing anything to him. The Wraith Fire Blast, though, they see him, and he's gonna be stunned out and destroyed by the Wraith King. Derp went a bit too far, and 1, 2, 3, ZXZ still has the Soul Ring, plus the Magic Stick, so she might be able to just catch Derp. This Grandma speed is really slow, but don't want to commit to it when you see someone in the lane, that being the Doom, who can just doom you away. KVH in the top lane, forced to back out. And low, careful, he's gonna be TPing away. And go in the mid lane, attacked by a harassment, just trying to take this tower, putting a lot of pressure. Interesting, they haven't really put that much pressure into the towers. They've been concentrating a lot on kills, but not really getting many objectives as a result of it. In fact, Mirana's gonna go for a Dragonlance early, which is an early team fighter build as opposed to the Aghanims build, which allows you to farm much quicker. I would prefer an Aghanims, but I suppose it's Dragonlance Aghanims regardless. You take advantage of the fact that you're really crushing an enemy team, go for cheaper items that give you really good stats, like Dragonlance being one of the few ones, together with Drums maybe. And then harass him. Frostbite into the Wraith King. He gets Reincarnation in case he dies. He just wasted that point. Hadoken is available, but not going to use it just yet. Shockwave hits. 1, 2, 3, ZXC will survive this. And they really can't. They don't want to sacrifice a Doom, of course, against Reincarnation. Meanwhile, Zero in the top lane is being harassed by KVH. Actually hit the arrow once again. And even with the Surge, is not able to withstand the amazing amount of damage you can put up with that leap. Especially since they increased the 64 attack speed bonus. Pretty ridiculous. Actually, physical damage Mirana much more viable nowadays. And Mad Meng here in the mid lane sees question mark. He also sees the courier. There's the Spirit Lance. They can easily stop him with a rolling boulder. Boulder Smash. To stop him, they silence him first. I think that was a geometric grip. Barely even registered. Regardless, our Spirit is going to go down here as the rotations come from the Shadow Shaman, now finally being useful here. But the Doppelganger, or the Juxtaposition, will... Oh, it is Doppelganger. The Doppelganger will... What's interesting is Juxtapose would make sense grammatically with it. So, I keep calling it by the wrong name. Anyway, Zero is unable to deny that tower. Yeah, they actually get the kill. They clean all the illusions. Zero deals a lot of damage with that Iron Shell, but they're kind of kiting him a bit here. However, there comes Wraith King with a stun, and goes onto the Doom. First the Darkseer, that's who they want to kill first, as Zero does not have the Surge whatsoever. He's been silenced, and they just need to destroy him. Well, that Spirit Lance will get this kill. Everyone's following him into the trees, and with a Haste Rune, B should be able to finish him off. Zero finally going down to the damage that the guys at Wheel are putting out, and 1, 2, 3, ZXC is stuck here between 5. How is he going to make it out of here alive? He's already lost that reincarnation. There's no way he can get out of this station. 1, 2, 3, ZXC, someone save me! Nobody's going to be able to do that, as V gets that final hit and gets the kill eventually. And with this, Wheel is going to rotate to the mid lane, try to get Lilkin 6. Possibly. I mean, it seems like an easy kill. Again, they're going at 3 men at this point. Stunned out. Lil cannot withstand the damage. This Wheel will get another kill. I love that name, by the way. 1, 2, 3, ZX. It's a great rhyming name. Minus on the to the Doom. That's an interesting. I mean, as an offlaner, I think it's okay. But with the Devourer, it seems just an excessive amount of gold. You might just want to go for the plus 275 gold to go for full tanky Doom with the Shiva's last or a Doom that used to be played. And that seems effective. That is quite effective. So instead of going for the extra 80 Devour gold, you just get a Midas instead. In the end, you're winning in the early game, so you can allow yourself these kind of luxuries. You can already see Doom is matching the amount of gold or the amount of farm the Shadow Fiend is getting, which is not entirely too hard if the Doom is well in his off lane, but it also does not show well for the Shadow Fiend. He flash farming some stacks now, but they are really harassing him in his jungle, and we see no stacks whatsoever. Not even not that you can take it regardless. No stacks here. So the Wraith King is trying to farm the jungle, get his armlet early, which is good. But you're still going to be a bit delayed on the Shadow Fiend, trying to go for the kills early on. Dota the 2 is going to be seen and reveal the smoke himself. There could be an arrow to try to help him. In fact, they could fight this with a Moonlight Shadow. Don't use this Doom just yet. Scorch Surgers to run away. And the Moonlight Shadow. They want to counter-initiate the Rubik entirely. Go on to him. Are you serious, Rubik? Walking around. The Hadouken's available. Starstorm to finish him off. That was way too easy. In fact, in the top part of this fight, Lilkin is also just going to die to the damage that Phantom Lancer can put out. He doesn't even have his... Wow, he's going straight up for Aghanim's. Doesn't even have his Steel Blade just yet, and he's cool. Destroying the enemy team just with his base damage. That's pretty insane. This Phantom Lancer is currently unstoppable. On herself with the Starstorm being very effective, going for a physical damage build, which, I mean, there's some benefits to it. Oh, careful, Mirana, stunned out. Wait, even the Spirit Lance, careful. It's interesting that they're not going for Diffusal Blade on Lancer Soul. We just took it, but I guess are really confident in your damage. Aghanim's damage. But I do like the Mirana going for the damage build, because there's two reasons. First of all, it translates much better into grabbing a Diffusal Blade. You don't have to do that weird thing Sumal used to do, which, oh, actually 1, 2, 3 ZXC, still has no reincarnation. He's been stunned out for too long. That arrow hit him, and the Frostbite to finish him off. With the Telekinesis onto an Illusion, does absolutely nothing, just stops in an area. Doom into the Darkseer, and there's no Surge available. This is a dead Darkseer. Freezing Field to kill off the Shadow Shaman. They stop the Phantom Lancer, but a Doppelganger will save him from the snakes. And Ned, the last target alive. The only thing left here for the perfect team wipe. B will commit to this with a Spirit Lance, but with a Shrine used, B won't be able to get that kill at last. Like I said, Mirana with the physical damage translates much better to a Diffusal Blade build, which is nice because you do want to get it. Have to go late game. And yeah, he did go for 275 health as expected. Oh, there's the arrow, catches the Doom, infused raindrops, rolling boulder coming in. And with the amount of stuns they have, this poor Doom is not going to go anywhere. Requiem of Souls trying to get out, and in fact, they're going to hit the Doom with all they got. Dota the 2 has to run away, but the Wraith King is following after him without the reincarnation still available. They're just going to save the Doom using the urn to heal himself up. And oh, actually, it was Madman who healed himself up, or healed Doom up. That'd be perfectly fine. Finally, the last point for the Mirana thing. With the new Leap additions and the extra jewelry gain they gave her in the last patch, it seems like Mirana carry is as good as or Mirana physical damage is as good as the magical damage Mirana, especially with the nerfs to the Aghanim Scepter. So it seems okay to go for that kind of build, especially when you have this surplus of magical damage team with an Aghanim Scepter Lancer, who's now finally going to build up his Diffusal Blade. Meanwhile, in the top lane, the Earth Spirit is going to Rolling Boulder try to save the Crystal... No, just Rolling Boulder tried to... probably. And got caught out. Well, that's a kill for stars, but there's still a 9k gold advantage to the guys at Wheel, and that's not pretty good. That's gonna... Yeah, it's gonna work well for Wheel. I mean, they're pretty happy with how the game is going. They don't really need to push that many towers right now, as they currently are going to be getting Maelstrom anyway on KVH to increase his farming speed. Not as good as the Aghanims, but still pretty decent. MB with the Aghanims is also able to outfarm most heroes in the enemy team. So you're not too rushed for time. Like I said, they have a pretty decent game, or decent team at any stage of the game. Oh, arrow stolen, but not anything. 123 ZXC. It does not know. Oh, does know because he sees the sentry. They actually stopped the air spirit first, the vacuum, to prevent any initiation. Dota 2 does not have the doom, so it's not the time they wanted to use to start in right now. Derptop is turned into a chicken. Now the shackles, but the Phantom Lancer comes in with the Spirit Lance. Derptop might even survive. The reincarnation is triggered, and Derptop wants to use a freezing field, but doesn't want to get stunned out just yet. Frostbite. Derptop, run away! The Shadow Rays is almost destroying freezing field in the trees, and question mark walking up to him. He is not gonna die. In fact, he's gonna get the kill onto Crystal Maiden, but we are lost 2 for stars, 2 supports for 2 supports. Who's gonna win in the end? The arrow comes a bit too late by KVH, and they can't stop either the TPs from stars going away. In the end, it seems like stars. It seems like stars are at least recovering slightly in these kind of team fights, but it is true that they are not getting any kills that are not on supports right now. I think. Is the Phantom Lancer already level 15? Oh no, level 10 Spirit Lance damage. Never mind. I always forget how ridiculous strongest hero with the magical damage. Anyway, the vacuum does absolutely nothing. That's sad when you have to use the vacuum to try to clear illusions. It looks like Darkseer is kind of desperate at this point. Look how many illusions there are. It's so easy to create them. And you don't need to rush onto anyone anymore. Good for B. That said, once he gets the Fusel Blade, they're going to be able to fight much. And that fight was also without the Doom. They used the Moonlight Shadow a bit too early. Got cocky that the enemy team would have no sentries. Really clever sentry usage here to be able to push a tower. Sadly, however, even though they do get a team fight, which in theory was favorable to them to some degree, the tower did not go down. Even though they were losing and they got the 2 kills into supports, they couldn't get that really valuable gold that's stolen in towers. This we see the Doom going for the tanky build. That's Vätte. She was like Oracle today. The Shiva's build for the Doom. Since he already went for the 275 health, it does seem like a weird thing to do. With a Midas to give. And did I just see a crystal? Oh, the crystal. Oh, but the 2 supports are joining here, but the Moonlight Shadow is a bit dangerous. They actually stop one TP. It's by the Shadow Fiend, and they're going to continue to fight this. Shadow Fiend's been stunned out for a really long time, but the Mirana doesn't of damage. The Starstorm actually doesn't hit him. Mirana has to leap away. Will survive this, though, and the Magnetize is being used. Lil is a target of aggression. B comes from behind. Actually gets 1 kill already on the Shadow Fiend. The next objective is Ned, and Ned is not going to be able to run away from Lil this time, or B this time, sorry, and Ned is going to be brought down by the Phantom Lancer. And right, Lilkin, yeah, I started thinking about VP, best team in the world. Wheel's gonna continue to push these towers, and there's a door issue. Interesting. Technical issues will be fine now. And with this wheel, they're gonna just stomp the. There's really not much to stop them, especially with every single team fight. The whole divide in the team fight with Phantom Lancer split pushing quite a lot. With the Aghanim Scepter, you're allowed to split efficiently. The reason why Phantom Lancer was here that kind of lost that split pushing power as it worked is because he doesn't create illusions. He creates illusions quickly, but they last way. They don't last long enough, and you don't create them quickly enough so that you can push towers efficiently. With the Spirit Lancer, you're able to do this much easier because you can clear lanes without the illusion, create them insanely fast, and then you can towers and take the tier 2 or deal a lot of damage to it like he did top. And then you move on to the team fight. You haven't really lost much because, again, you take your illusion with you, just get Spirit Lance, and that is a great initiation, having him on the style or not. Which the way B is playing is really clever as they force the Shadow Fiend or something back with the just force are farmed, and B comes from behind, clean through, and with the amount of damage that Spirit Lance does, even without the Fusel Blade, you're able to really easily get this kill. You can see how many illusions he's creating. This is a really easy way now to start pushing and use the illusions as kind of a split pushing mechanism. I mean, if he gets lucky with those juxtaposed hits, because that's just... To be fair, the illusion trigger chance for juxtaposed quite. Really just your main Phantom Lancer. Great illusions. If you, it's for every hit, so either you go for an insane amount of attack speed, which is why Phantom Lancer is a good amount of attack speed items, dually items. But that's really not the best build if you're gonna try to go for an early game kind of push, because you need items to be useful. You still don't really have that split potential too high. That's from Wheel. We'll need to go on to tower in the bottom lane. Have enough damage to take it down. And again, that's going to be a tier 2 being brought down by the American team. As they do have enough damage now with the Arcane Rune as well. Phantom Lancer plus the 50% cooldown reduction is a really scary rune. Agonist Phantom Lancer with the Fugal Blade. That Arcane Rune will make it so that you can just doppelganger away anything. And also Spirit Lance you constantly. And then comes Question Mark. Rolling Boulder's gonna catch him. They even Boulder smash him away. They root him. And with the amount of ice power they have, Question Mark has no way to withstand this. And Darkseer's been muted. There's no team fight now anymore. Lilkin has also been stopped. The Fusel Blade making it into the Phantom Lancer's horror. 1, 2, 3. ZXC is trying to run away, but the reincarnation will be triggered before he can have a better day. Madmang comes in with a Boulder smash. Hits 0. Madmang has to try to juke into the trees, and he is able... Oh, sorry, they're able to kill him off. So, I was stuck. He didn't make it out alive with an arrow hitting the Marana as well. Now the Spirit Lance hitting too many heroes at once, making it so Phantom Lancer can still deal considerable amount of damage even with low HP. Goes on to 1, 2, 3 ZXC, and with a doppelganger, can he kill the Wraith King in time? He's gonna suffer a lot of damage. With 2 seconds for the doppelganger, 1 more second evaded in time. That is a great evasion of the last hit by Question Mark in a bait that forces him into a difficult position, making the Question Mark go down. And 0, the only surviving member or surviving core of this team, are going to be harassed heavily by the Phantom Lancer. In the end, Wheel lose the Marana, yes, but the Phantom Lancer survives just barely. He's going to TP back to base, and during all that engagement, they do get a bunch of kills, including forcing 2 buybacks, 1 on the Darkseer and 1 on the Shadow Fiend. Yeah, full tank. I mean, you don't want to go for the 25 movement speed down. Can't imagine ever being your option, but the extra heal for the Scorcher is going to make really. With a Mjolnir picked up by KVH. Good. That's from Stars. Moving on to Madmang and X plus Shackles. That's Wraith Fire Blast. There's no way you can evade this, even with the arrow. Ned. Pretty good combination. However, it seems like Wheel's kind of starting to lose the grip of the game. The whole 5 mana's worked out for them until now. Why change it? Couldn't, especially with the Diffusal Blade. You should be very powerful. That was hard to Rask almost. Marana herself is almost done with a Mjolnir, able to use it on the Doom, especially, who has a considerable amount of armor with the Shivas and great amount of HP because he's just Doom has a good amount of strength gain every level. So you combine those 2 things together, you put the Mjolnir onto him, anyone who attacks the Doom is going to die, and in fact it leads to a very good ending of the game. Endgame, sorry, as Question Mark can't really hit the Doom, and the Darkseer with his Iron Shot, it's really unfortunate, so a lot of damage over time. Similar with Wraith Fire Blast, you can trigger Mjolnir a bunch of times, and in fact your whole team, since it's so far behind, really can't against the damage of Mjolnir. Out. Of course, you also get the extra Hyperstone movement speed, or attack speed, but that's almost, you're gonna notice that it's gonna be a noticeable difference, but it's still ridiculous how fast Marana can hit, especially because of Virgil. Try to kill the Wraith King. I think they can Boulder Smash him in time. Ooh, that Boulder Smash would have missed anyway, but it would have hit him in time. Should have hit him in time. Got them right. Good guess, regardless. Didn't know where the Wraith King was. And they're gonna try to take the last tier 2. Oh, this is actually a really good idea. Just take the last tier 2, play calmly. Maybe you can't take Shrines just yet, which is unfortunate, but you can get the Rush on. It's really I don't know why he's not. Okay, the owner's coming. You could just put the Hyperstone on that off. Yeah, there. Just so you can heat really fast and get that Roshan in time. Is he gonna leap it? Oh, yeah, there is the leap. Look how fast I'm on it. Almost like he's using a machine of arrows. And that Roshan's gonna go down, and that's gonna be an easy Aegis for them, and probably to the Phantom Lancer situation, as he's the biggest hero. And then go for the tier 2 to finish off. Finish off the tier 3 and probably go for a lane of Rax up top. Best option. Marana, if you hit this arrow, you're gonna be God. Arrow. Oh, actually, they're gonna hit him with Boulder Smash. Arrow's gonna miss completely, so that's unfortunate. Wraith Fire Blast actually stopped Madman. They went a bit too soon, and in fact, this is gonna be cost Wheel the whole Aegis thing. I mean, that's dead Mirana. That's a dead Earth Spirit for absolutely no reason. They got kind of cocky with the whole Arrow thing, and they thought the same thing I thought, which is, we're gods. But the question mark, or not question mark, sorry, stars in the general are starting to come back into this game, saying, all right, we've lost the early game. We know this, but we can still be into this game when we play it properly. As long as we can destroy this Mirana in time, and as long as we can stop this Phantom Lancer at some point in the game, we can still win. That's certainly true. However, Star's going to have to play very defensively and punish any aggression enemy team puts out, because they themselves don't have the greatest lineup to put up kills and go for ganks. Unless you get a really good smoke gank, perfect positioned by Shadow Shaman, the amount of damage that currently Wheel can put out is way too high for the guys of Stars to actually combat it entirely. With this, that Helm move though? That's something. You know, Derp likes getting Helm a lot on a lot of heroes. Interesting. Oh wow. Ooh, Dota's becoming. That Helm of the Dominator is gonna be fantastic. Or Wheel in general. Okay, it helps you push a lot, especially with a hero like the Satyr or Tormentor. Makes it so everyone has a huge health region. Wow, they're all at 33. They're all at around 20 at the very least. I think that gives you a total of 16. Regardless. Gonna see, yeah, 16. Gonna see the poor, the Boulder Smash out to question mark. Question mark though with a Glimmer Cape might be saved. And the Vacuum Ball Replica does absolutely nothing. B continues to fight and wants to kill Lil Kin. And there's the Doppelganger, kills the Shadow Shaman first. The Wrecking Missile does absolutely nothing to be as he follows through and wants to kill the second support, this being Ned. Wraith Fire Blast to stop him. He still has the Aegis, so he's gonna be perfectly fine. He's fighting against 3, and he's gonna be able to kill the Wraith King first. Now going on to the poor Shadow Fiend, and question mark does not have a Glimmer Cape to save him this time. Can he survive? He won't be able to do anything as his mana is drained, much like his HP. 1, 2, 3, ZXC is trying to go into his base, and it will complete this journey at the same time as the enemy team completes the destruction of the barracks. Ned, meanwhile, is jumped on by the Phantom Lancer, can do absolutely nothing against him. They even stunned the wrong Phantom Lancer in the end. The GG, well played, will come out by Stars. The Brazilian team gives up this second game, or this first game, against Wheel. As I say, these opponents are too strong for me. With that said, guys, we will be back with game number 2 between Stars and Wheel. In this game number 1, we already said it, if Wheel executes better, they do have a really strong lineup, and they execute it perfectly and play to their strengths. And we will be back with game number 2 between Stars and Wheel Wreck while whistling very few moments. My name has been DSwordfish. Hope you've enjoyed the cast. If you did, feel free to follow me on Twitter at DSwordfish. And if you didn't, feel free to tell me why. We will be back in minutes, so enjoy some too while we wait. And of course, special thanks our sponsor, XBet, this ProDota Cup tournament.
Best odds for esport and live betting. Unique gaming lines for all esport disciplines, including